Hey, what's going on guys? Jolt139 here, and today I figured we'd do something different and look into the Borderlands 2 files and find some of the hidden stuff that was removed from the game, such as some bosses, weapons, and whatnot. There's a lot of stuff that was actually removed and not put in the final version. And I figured today we would talk about Digistruct Peak because there was a lot of changes to it that actually didn't happen. So I'm going to put some gameplay in the background in a minute, but first I want to show you how to access the text files of the Borderlands game. This will not ruin your game or anything like that. So what you're going to do is go over to a folder, open local disk C, program files, go down to Steam, and then go down to Steam Apps, and then Common, Borderlands 2. And this is pretty much all the text of the game. You can read through it and find some really interesting stuff, such as some removed raid bosses. I won't go into that too much right now. I'm going to make multiple videos on that, so maybe some weapons on the next one, and then bosses on the next one. But today we're going to do Digistruct Peak. And Digistruct Peak is a DLC, so we're going to go ahead and go into that. And then, whoa, voice crack. And then we're going to go to Lobelia. That's Digistruct Peak's name in the files. So, and then Compat, and then Localization. And then these are the different languages of the game. You got, Taiwan, Korean, Japan, or Japanese, and Italian. We're going to go to English, which is INT. I don't know why they did that, but we're going to go ahead and go into that, and then open this one right here. And as you can see here, we have a ton of text you can read through, and I'm going to throw gameplay in the background as I go through some of this and show you that there was a lot of stuff that was removed from the final version. So go ahead and enjoy that, and let's go over what was changed. So I'm going to go ahead and put pictures of the text on the screen in case you want to read along. But first off, Tannis says here, fight this digital replica of Wilhelm and think fondly of the time the Czech let you kill him so you would lower Sanctuary's shield and get dozens of people killed. Ah, the memories. I don't know why Wilhelm was removed. Maybe because they wanted to save something for the pre-sequel for him, or I don't know. I kind of wish we could have fought him. That would have been pretty cool because he was pretty weak in the story. Obviously he was poisoned, but it would have been pretty sick to fight a stronger version of him. So here's a pretty cool one that I'm kind of surprised they removed, but I'm going to go ahead and read it here. I felt that this training module should simulate emotional distress as well as physical. To that end, you will fight Bloodwing. So apparently Bloodwing was supposed to be a boss in the Digistruct Peak. He was probably removed because people had feelings for Bloodwing because he was a big part of Borderlands 1, and killing him off over and over in the Digistruct Peak would make people feel bad, I would think. So, but I think it would be pretty cool if we could have fought, like 2 or 3 of them or something like that, but too bad. It was removed. So we were actually supposed to fight Old Slappy. It says here the reconstruction of Old Slappy would make Sir Hammerlock shake in his boots. For now, grabbing Hammerlock by the shoes and manually jiggling them around like gelatin mold or a baby will have to suffice. I don't know. I didn't like Old Slappy. I wouldn't like to see him actually be added into that, so I'm kind of glad they removed him. Up next, we have the Sheriff of Lynchwood. It says here, the Sheriff's digital replica has all of her intelligence and tactics, but with 100% less puppy strangling. It would have been pretty cool to fight her because in the story itself, she wasn't really much of a boss, and also she appeared in the Water Gobbler DLC during the Water Gobbler fight. But then again, she really wasn't much of a fight. It would have been pretty cool to fight a stronger version of her, but unfortunately, she was removed. So I'm really sad about this one because it would have been really cool to see in the peak, but I'm going to go ahead and read it here. While in the mere mention of his name fills me with desire to drop kick a small child, it may be strategically useful for you to fight this digital reconstruction of Jack. So yeah, Jack was supposed to be in the peak, but it was removed. It would have been really cool to see that because the fight at the end of the game, the story mode, was really weak. He wasn't much of a boss. And this guy's the main villain of the game, so you should be able to, put up a good fight with him. And you didn't. Next up, we have Bad Maw. It says here, a fun note about the digital version of Bad Maw, those midgets on the shield are not his children, unlike, the real Bad Maw. So apparently those midgets on the shield are actually his children, which is quite surprising. I didn't know that. So I think they would have removed him because he's really similar to Doc Mercy, so I don't think they would have had 2 of the same kind of enemies in there, so he probably got removed for that. So. And then we have everybody's favorite Unkempt Harold dropping Bool, Savage Lee. It says here, Savage Lee, the man who loved bullymongs so much he lived among them. He is unlike the titular ugly duckling, except for the fairy tale didn't end with you shooting the duckling in the face 80 times. So, Savage Lee was removed. I think it would have been pretty cool if he was in there, fight a wave of them, kind of like Bonehead, and have a chance of getting an Unkempt Harold a lot easier, but unfortunately that didn't happen. And then we have Pomona and Toomba. It says here, Pomona and Toomba, friends till they met you. I'm kind of glad they got removed because I hate stalkers. I do not want to fight Pomone. And they don't even drop good items anyways, so it's not even worth having them in there, so no loss. And then we have the Splinter Group. It says here, it's our old friends, the mutated rats. As I forgot to bring pizza, you would need to fill their bellies with a metaphorical salad made of bullets, pain, and vinaigrette dressing, which is also made of bullets. I hated these guys. I didn't like to fight them, so I don't care. And then we have Bull. It says here, miraculously, Bull survived the run and out in 3 horns and now lives on Eden 4. I am joking, of course. He died tremendous agony shortly after making their acquaintance. Now, this is pretty interesting because Bull is one of those enemies that wasn't really much of the story, and he kind of just makes it into Digistruct Peak. I don't know, I think that's kind of interesting. It would have been cool though, because he was the guy who was supposed to drop the fastball, and maybe they would have fixed it and made him actually drop it. But unfortunately that didn't happen, so yeah. Now this next one, I have no idea who it is. It might have been a new enemy that didn't make it into the Digistruct Peak, but it says here, this is a digital reconstruction of a cybernetic recreation of a bandit Brick and Little killed many years ago. Simple. I have no idea who that would be. Maybe they were going to bring back some of the bandits from Borderlands 1, like Sledge or Nine Toes or something, and make them into a cybernetic robot form. I think that would have been pretty cool, but like I said before, that didn't happen. And finally we have Incinerated Clayton. It says here the Incinerated clan killed Scorch for being a heathen, as gods tend to do, however. He respawned. Now, I kind of like Incinerator. I kind of wish he would have returned, but unfortunately he didn't, so yep. So unfortunately that was all I was able to find in this DLC script. So if you guys enjoyed this, please be sure to like, because it would really help me out. I really enjoy doing this series, so if you guys support it, I will definitely be doing more, and maybe talk about some of the weapons that were removed, or some of the bosses, or raid bosses, or DLCs and whatnot. And yeah, anyways, this is JoltsDude139, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.